Hi. First feelings about recording. I push the recording button and I start getting to this persona. Like, my English even changes. Like, I don't even understand why. But it really happens. I think it's a sort of shell, protective shell that I get. And I'm going to talk about that today. So, if anyone's been paying attention, which you probably haven't, it is something normal for me to try to go somewhere, posting content on the internet, and so far I've done very poorly. I've tried a few times and I've quitted all of them, and I wanted to explain today what is the reasoning that I have behind that quitting. And I don't think it's some strategic, logical, thought pondered quitting. I think it's just chickening out. Like, I'm just afraid. So what am I afraid? And I think this is worth posting because maybe some people will resonate with it. And then I'll also explain why it is also worth posting, for me at least. So I saw this in a video and I think it makes a lot of sense, which is there's some people like me which base a lot of their self-identity, right, into their intelligence. And they measure intelligence by capabilities. So what can you do with that intelligence? And basically, the fact that you can make very good creative or intellectual work. And the thing is that if you're talking about capability, you're actually talking about possibility. So you're not judging yourself by whether you make or not very good creative work, but whether you can or not. So that is maybe, unless you check, it's a matter of belief. I believe I can make great work, and that is my identity, a big part of my identity. So the problem with posting things on the internet, becoming a content creator, sharing things that may be liked and disliked, paid attention and not paid attention to, is that, well, that's basically checking whether you can actually make worthwhile pieces of content, right? So in a way, you're actually risking your identity. You're putting your identity into jeopardy because you're actually saying, hey, identity, we're gonna play this little game in which you may die or not. That's actually what you're saying to yourself. I think this is all my thinking. No expert, but in this moment of truth, when you actually post a thing, some people are gonna watch it, some people are gonna comment on it, and most people are not gonna pay attention to it. Now you're gonna take those measurements and make conclusions about it, and that's the problem. Because you're gonna do that, you're not just gonna post things like, I don't care, because this is actually work. This is like intellectual, creative work. You're putting a lot of you into making these things. So you actually kind of care about whether they're good or not. And I think that's the risk. That's the danger that should be avoided when I'm trying to start this project, whatever this project even is. Like, I just want to be free for myself, right? To just post things, to just share things. Because sometimes I say very interesting shit. It just happens. And sometimes I discover crazy shit. Sometimes I read interesting stuff. And sometimes I come across like very interesting arguments. So this thing that's keeping me there, has a lot of tools. And the biggest tool that it has is me. Like self-lies. Like the lies I told myself. So I used to tell myself that I could always do this in the future. Now that I have this very interesting, my opinion, very interesting theory that we're gonna die within a few years, 5, 10, 20, tops 20. Like, we can talk about another video, but like what I'm saying is that now the clock is really ticking. I cannot waste time. I cannot postpone into the future much. And And so I started to make myself these big questions about, where are you actually bitching out? Like, are you shitting yourself here? Yes, I am. I'm bullshitting myself a lot. And one of the ways I do it, maybe, thank you, Windows, maybe some of the ways you do it too is by, well, when I say, hey, let's make this video or piece of content or whatever, I say, oh, but I could eat. Or, well, I'm into college, so I could do some studying. I could read every possible book that has anything to do with what I'm studying in college. I'm also learning a few languages, so I could work on any of them, which is like infinite work, if you think about it. I could phone some friends that I haven't been wanting to phone, like, for the last 3 months, but now I just feel like doing it, and now it's important. I could work out, even, like, I could research it, I could listen to music, I could watch this video, I'm gonna read this book, I could even masturbate, like, I would eat, I will do anything, seriously. But the one thing that scares me, and that's really what's holding me back, that I'm just scared. And all the rest are lies, stories that I tell myself to defend myself, to protect myself from possible hurt. You know, I think if death, like that your brain stops working, that your heart stops pumping blood, if death, like body death, like physical death, is the death for the body, realizing that your identity is a lie, or a big part of what you base yourself in is a lie, or it's just undefined, destroyed, whatever, it's like death for the psychological self. So we have this instinct of survival for the body, and I think we have this instinct for survival for the identity. So you will go into very extreme, you will reach very far not to put your identity into risk. Like, I could even go to the bathroom and start pulling out some pimps so that, hey, now I'm all red and ugly, so, oh, sorry, I can't make a video. Like, I would do these things, like, I've done these things, like, it's so stupid. And I've been convincing myself to do that for maybe 2 years now, which is crazy. But I think it's over. I hope it's over. So the purpose, the other purpose I was talking about for posting this is so that I get comfortable posting shit, which I think is very important, because it tells myself that I have the right to post things. And also that if you want to make very good creative intellectual work, you don't need to do it on the first attempt, right? You can just do it and work on it and improve. And that's probably the only, thanks Windows again, that's probably the only way you can actually do it. So that is the purpose of this video, other than just sharing some thoughts and springing some pondering in who's ever watching. Thanks for watching. I always say that because I appreciate your time, your investment, and let's just not make it too long. See you in the next video. Bye bye.